We live, we live, we live. What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rose, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I'm currently chilling, man. About to give you guys my live fight commentary and reaction to Thomas Lamanna versus Jermall Charlo, along with Caleb Plant versus Armando Resendiz, man. Thomas Lamanna has just gotten into the ring. You know what I mean? Jermall Charlo's about to make his ring walk very shortly. And I'm not really expecting too many people to be on the live just yet, but as soon as y'all come in, if y'all could please hit the like button, that'd be very much appreciated. Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know that Mazuma TV is live. You feel what I'm saying? Thomas Lamanna, like I said, Thomas Lamanna is in the ring right now. We're about to get this started. The return of Jermall Charlo is on the way. Let's see exactly what type of time he's on. He's coming off of a nearly 2-year layoff, has not fought since November of 2023. So we're going to see exactly what he has left and what he's going to be bringing into this fight. You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions because assuming that he comes out victorious, he should be facing Caleb Plant later on this year if Caleb Plant is victorious. Now Jermall Charlo is walking in right now. I see him with the he got a nice colorway going on right now. It looks like he got like the royal blue with the baby blue mix up with gray and white. I see the custom Grant gloves that match. You know what I mean? Like I say, he got like I'm gonna say that's like a I don't know. That's like a I don't think that's a royal blue. That's a little bit darker. I'm gonna say that's probably like a You said I ain't ready for this. What you mean, Smoochie? What you talking about? But it's probably like a navy blue with the baby blue mix up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's looking like. But Jermall Charlo's making his way to the ring. He got his team behind him. He looks locked in. He looks focused. I see Jermall Charlo in the background. You know what I mean? I like that little color. I like the colorway, though. I like the colorway. What's y'all predictions? We got 3 people in the building. What's y'all predictions? We got 3 people. We need 3 likes, people. You said I'm way ahead of you. That's because I'm actually watching it on Prime. So I don't know. That's probably why. But shout out to Yo-Yo for his victory over Kyron Davis. You know what I mean? That was a great display of boxing. He boxed real well, showed a great jab, great combination, good power. Kyron Davis is definitely tough. He was able to make it through all 10 rounds. And that is the first time that Yo El Diablo came out with a unanimous decision because prior to that, he had all knockouts on his resume. So that was great 10 rounds for Yo and Ellie to get. They definitely fast-tracking him. And he's definitely going to be a problem at 160, man. He's definitely somebody to look at in the middleweight division. Mesa says, I got cornflake. Okay. That was the first fight that I seen from Yo and Ellie, like, live. You know what I'm saying? I like saw his little highlights and stuff, but that was the first one I was able to see live. He had dropped Kyron Davis early on in the fight, but yo, that kid is that dude is tough, man. I'm not even gonna call him a kid. That's a tough dude right there. Shout out to Jimmy Lennon Jr. He about to do the ring introductions for Jermall and Thomas Lamanna. Yo definitely got that dog for sure. He was in great shape too, so he prepares properly for sure. He's not like one of those power punches that gasses out, you know, in the later rounds. And nah, he ain't got them big bang zang problems. You feel me? I did see him do like I seen him take a round or 2 off, but you know that just come with preserving your gas tank and shit like that. He was in pretty good shape. He prepared properly. Shout out to Smoochie, Mason, Sean, Terrence. What up? Remember I told you about you were one of the first people that told me. He's definitely talented. And Kyron done been around the block, man. He been in there with David Benavidez. What's that kid name? The one that he had upset in the middleweight division. I forgot his name. But that young kid in the middleweight division that he actually beat Resendiz. I forgot his name. But anyways, Yeah, Kyron done been around the block. You feel what I'm saying? And he done been a part of some world class training camps. So that's definitely a good name that get the resume. And also he's a good enough opponent to get you through the rounds and just help you develop as a professional. Mar the Machine, what up? What's going on, brother? We getting into it, man. Hit the likes, y'all. Hit the likes. Jermall Charlo is being announced right now, so they about to get it popping. You know what I mean? 35 years old. Damn. Jermall Charlo's 35 years old, bro. What's your predictions before this fight gets started? 2 fights in 4 years. Yeah, that's insane, bro. That's a lot of time wasted. A lot of prime years wasted. That's what's unfortunate, bro. So you telling me 4 years from 31 to 35, he wasn't active. And that's usually your prime years. You feel me? So that sucks, man. But shit happens, and that ain't gonna be the first and last time we hear about something like that, unfortunately.
What I expect, a clean professional bout, obey my commands, and protect yourself at all times. Punches, come up. Punches right here are not considered low. Punches right here are not considered low. Touch them up.
All right, we about to get it started. Let's get these last minute predictions in, man. Before this fight unfolds, let me know what the predictions are, man. Leave it in the comments. We about to get this started. This is going to be my live fight reaction and commentary to Thomas Lamanna and Jermall Charlo. Let's get it popping. I'm going to tell you guys what I see from my perspective. Round one has started. And these guys look like they're about the same size, and Thomas Lamanna has already showcased his lateral movement. So we already getting an idea of what he's looking to do. Jermall Charlo already getting his jab started. And looking to press the action already. That's what it looks like from Jermall Charlo's side. Thomas Lamanna showcasing some good speed on that jab and keeping that right hand up tight. So that lets you know that he's already concerned, not necessarily concerned, but aware of Jermall Charlo's powerful left hook. Good jab from Jermall Charlo. That one of them already had made his mark. And Thomas Lamanna is already looking to get that back. So you could tell Jermall Charlo, ooh, that's another good jab from Jermall Charlo. We can already see some reddening going on Thomas Lamanna's nose. And listen, man, I've always said that Jermall Charlo has a world-class jab. So, that's one of the best tools to add to your arsenal. Another jab lands for Jermall Charlo already. Thomas is touching his nose. He's already not. Yeah, he's already bleeding from the nose. So one of those jabs already are having this effect already. So this is not a good start for Thomas Lamanna. That's a very strong jab from Jermall Charlo, and it's very precise. One of the best jabs in boxing, in my opinion. I've seen, good right hand from Jermall Charlo. And Thomas Lamanna is already having a rough start to this first round. We're not even 2 minutes in, and his nose is already trickling. His nose is already bleeding. Another good jab from Jermall. We've been saying a great showcase of jabs this week, man. Khalil Cole versus Galagos. If I mispronounce his name, I'm sorry. But he showcased a beautiful jab yesterday and ultimately made Galagos quit in 5 to 6 rounds. And Jermall Charlo's jab is already taking an effect. Another good jab from Jermall. This is already becoming a great display. Jermall Charlo's already showcasing a great jab, man. And Thomas is having a hard time timing it. You can tell he's trying to neutralize Jermall Charlo's jab with, attempting to be first and stuff like that. But he's having a hard time getting the timing on Jermall Charlo's jab. You know what I mean? And looking at Jermall Charlo's physique, like, he looks big, but he doesn't look like he's in the best of shape. Like, I've seen him in, 154, 160 actually look a lot more defined, in terms of like his back, back definition and just overall muscle definition. Jermall Charlo looks a bit soft. I don't know if it's because of, him him being at 168 now, but he looks a lot different, in my opinion, from a physical standpoint. So that was the end of the first round, man. I think what really stood out more than anything, in my opinion, was Jermall Charlo's jab. It was definitely making his mark. Thomas was attempting to weather the storm and get some combinations off and showcase a little bit of lateral movement and speed. But Jermall Charlo's precision, in my opinion, got him that round. Very rocky start for Thomas Lamanna because you could tell that jab has already had an effect, especially in the nose area. Ralph says Charlo TKO in the 6th. Jermall by decision. That's what Sean Terrence says. Charlo KO 4. Smoochie says he looks bloated. Yeah. Like his body, pause. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to emphasize his body or really talk about it, but he doesn't look as defined or as muscular as he has in previous fights. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he isn't in shape, but it doesn't look like he really did too much strength and conditioning, in my opinion. But we'll see. We're in the round 2 right now. Looks like Thomas Lamanna is attempting to, push Jermall back a little bit with his jab. Great adjustment so far from Thomas Lamanna, using some upper body movement and using a little bit of lateral movement as well. I don't think he wants to continue getting hit with that jab. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how the saying goes in boxing, if you can land the jab on your opponent, you can land just about anything. And considering how strong Jermall Charlo is, I don't think you really want to take too many flush shots from him. You see what I'm saying? But this is a pretty, even fight, in my opinion, in terms of where these guys have started and where they came from. Because I believe Thomas Lamanna has started at 154, similar to Jermall Charlo. They got experience at 160, and now, neither one of them have much experience at 168 from what I've seen. So, this is pretty even in terms of how the way they came up in the sport. You feel what I'm saying? And they look about the same height. Jermall Charlo looks like he has the bigger frame, but Thomas Lamanna is not a small guy, himself. Thomas Lamanna has to be very careful. He lunged in with a left hook and didn't bring his hands up. That's not something you should do against a strong puncher like Jermall, and that jab is already making its contact again. Beautiful feints from Jermall Charlo. He's staying nice and relaxed right now. You can tell he's not really looking for the knockout. He's just letting the offense come to him. And, there's a lot of redness on Thomas Lamanna's face. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that's from the jab making its mark. Jermall's being extremely efficient in terms of, and for those of y'all who don't know what that means, beautiful right hand from Jermall Charlo. That was a nice little pull counter. Thomas Lamanna has to bring that lead hand back, man. Especially when that jab, them straight shots that's coming down the middle, he has to be ready for them things. I don't think rocking that lead hand against somebody who has a strong jab, I don't think that's really a smart thing to do, especially when you're having trouble getting your timing on it. But Jermall, he's starting to get a little bit more fluid with his combinations. And you can tell he's very confident. Jermall Charlo is ripping them left hooks to the head and the body. None of them really landed flush, but he's getting flowing for sure. Thomas keeps touching that nose. I don't know if that's broken or he's just having trouble breathing. Maybe both. Got to be careful with them headbutts. Thomas Lamanna's lunging in. You can't afford to really get hit with too many of those, guys. Let's keep it clean. Round 2 is over. So, in all honesty, man, I'm not really seeing anything too standout-ish from either one of these guys. But if I had to say anybody who's, getting their game off more, is definitely Jermall Charlo. You feel what I'm saying? His shots are they're – first of all, his punches are more accurate as of right now. He's making his mark more than Thomas Lamanna. So, technically, there's no way, in my opinion, that I could give him, any of the rounds. I seen him land a beautiful pull counter on Thomas Lamanna, and he landed a few good jabs as well. Thomas Lamanna, in all honesty, he looks like he's just trying to keep Jermall up off him instead of, imposing his will in the ring, as you would say. But these still the early rounds. Jermall Charlo is definitely strong in these early rounds. That's when people are usually their strongest in their early rounds. So maybe, you know, Thomas Lamanna's whole thing is just bringing him into the later rounds, considering the inactivity and, you know, him looking like he's not in the best physical shape. I think Thomas Lamanna's best bet is to bring Jermall into the later rounds. But he has to be careful. He has to be smart. Ooh, beautiful left hook from Thomas Lamanna. Thomas Lamanna already taking deep breaths, man. I don't know what's going on right now. That's if you're doing that in the third round, that's usually not a good sign. Another great jab from Jermall Charlo. Another one. Beautiful right hand. Beautiful right hand. That looked like that got Thomas' attention a little bit. Knockdown. Jermall Charlo knocks down Thomas Lamanna. Looked like that right hand that stunned him. And he finished with a combination that put him on his knees. So that's a knockdown for Jermall Charlo. This is not a good sign, people. This is not a good sign. Let's see how Jermall Charlo approaches this. Yeah, Thomas definitely needs to get his head off of the line. He has to be careful because too many of these flush jabs is not a good thing. And I'm already seeing a lot of bruising on the left side of Thomas Lamanna's eye. This is not looking too good, people. This is not looking too good. So we already down two. You were down the first two rounds, and now you just got knocked down in the third. You know what I mean? Things are not going really too well right now. And Thomas is trying to survive. I see him tying up. He's doing some smart, crafty veteran moves to, you know, settle down Jermall Charlo's momentum. But the accuracy is on full display. That right hand looked like that bothered Thomas as well. The accuracy is there, pinpoint on Jermall Charlo's end. And Thomas is trying to showcase some dog right now. You know, he's taunting Jermall. You know, it's a lot of psychological games that happen in this, you know, ring as well. And maybe that's Thomas Lamanna trying to psych himself out. You feel what I'm saying? But, you know, Jermall Charlo is experienced at a high level. And so he's aware of what Thomas Lamanna is doing. He's staying composed. And he's walking to him behind his jab. Thomas is tying up, trying to get through this third round. Ooh. Thomas Lamanna just finished the third round. This is not looking good, y'all. This is really not looking good, y'all. The accuracy is there for Jermall Charlo. You can tell the power is definitely having an effect. The accumulation already through the course of these 3 rounds is looking like it's having an effect on Thomas Lamanna. And I've seen moments early on in the third round where Thomas Lamanna is exhaling deeply, inhaling and exhaling deeply. That's not the situation that you want to be in, considering the style that you have, the style that you're going against. So Thomas Lamanna was rocked with the right hand, and then he gets hit with a clubbing right hand in the clinch, forcing him to take a knee. Little overhand hand right in the clinch makes Thomas Lamanna take a knee. So definitely, I'm not going to say like his legs were gone or he was very hurt, but maybe he was definitely stunned by Jermall Charlo's right hand. So now we're at the beginning of the 4th round. Shout out to everybody that's in the building so far. What up, what up, what up? James Jones. Charlo looks so bored in there. I think you're confusing boredom with composure, brother. I don't think he's necessarily bored. He looks focused to me. He's always had that calm demeanor in the ring. You know, one of my favorite performances from Jermall Charlo was a Cornelius Bundridge fight. And in that fight, he had Cornelius Bundridge hurt several times, and his demeanor never changed. It was almost like he had been there before. A lot of controlled aggression on Jermall Charlo's part, and I think that's what makes him dangerous. You know, when you're not, you know, really using your emotions and just sticking to the script, even when, you know, you're hurting your opponent, because a lot of people, they get their opponents hurt, and then they lose focus. They just want to blast them out, get them up out of there. Jermall Charlo is small, is calm, cool, and collected, regardless of the situation. You know, from previous fights that I've seen. Jermall Charlo getting that wide stance in. I think he's trying to bait Thomas Lamanna to come in so he can land that counter. But Jermall, look, like I said, he doesn't look like he's in the best shape physically. But he still looks very strong, composed. The skill set, the accuracy is there. You know what I'm saying? Jermall Charlo is going to be a tough outing for just about anybody. You feel what I'm saying? Good right hand from Jermall Charlo. And he's just keeping the textbook, y'all. Like, Jermall's not really doing anything too crazy. You know, he's not really wasting punches at all. He's coming behind a great jab, a great educated jab. And, you know, here and there, he'll put his right hand right behind it. It's beautiful boxing. It's simple, but it's effective. Very great, fundamentally sound performance from Jermall Charlo so far. And, you know, here and there, he'll loop a hook. He'll loop like a right hook, or, you know, he'll get a left hook, and he'll try to variate it to the head and the body. But for the most part, it's simple boxing. He's walking to him with a high guard. You feel what I'm saying? Ooh, beautiful counter. That fucking jab is sensational, yo. I'm sorry. Like, as a boxing coach, that's like every coach's dream. Oh, that's a knockdown. Was that a knockdown? Thomas Lammana, he looked like he's hurt, and he's tying up immediately. I don't know. It looked like he tweaked his leg or something. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that – I need to go watch that replay. I don't know if a punch landed and it was a delayed reaction, or he genuinely, like, tweaked his ankle or something. We're going to have to check this out. That was the end of the fourth, and, you know, Jermall Charlo isn't really pushing the issue right now, but it's still looking a little shaky for Thomas Lammana. So let's take a look at this replay. Looked like he slipped, but it looked like a left hook hit him on the top of the head, and that could throw off your equilibrium. His knee definitely touched the canvas, though. So that should have been considered a knockdown, considering there was contact. But his knee definitely touched the canvas. Yeah, that's no contact, like no debating. That knee touched the canvas. That's a knockdown. But they didn't count it because it didn't really look like a flush shot landed. He bounced back up pretty quick, so it was hard to tell in live. Like in live, you couldn't tell that the knockdown really happened. So now we in the fifth round, y'all. So let me see. Smoochie said Charlo KO in the fourth. Her predictions out of the way. Who said? Ralph says Charlo TKO in the sixth. So I don't know. Ralph might be on to something, but we'll see. Thomas Lammana is still holding up pretty well. But if I'm Thomas Lammana, man, like you definitely gotta, even if you're outmatched in the offensive department or you're having trouble keeping up with his jab, you gotta take some chances here if you're looking to make a difference in the fight. You know, if you're outmatched, you know it is what it is. But if you're really coming in here with a winning mentality and you're understanding that this may be your last opportunity at a world title or for fighting under the bright lights, you have to take more chances. That looked like that was a good right hand from Thomas Lammana, but Thomas, it's a lot of panicky body language in my opinion. Another right hand puts Thomas Lammana down, y'all. He's having trouble with Charlo's power. It's definitely having a difference. He's bruised up underneath the eye, forehead, all types of swelling. Was that considered a slip? Wait, did they count that? That was definitely a knockdown. What the fuck was that? I don't know, y'all. This isn't looking too good. That jab is still making his mark. And Charlo, although he's being composed right now, he knows he has Lammana in trouble. Ooh, he put a little bit of emphasis. He put some, good left hook from Thomas Lammana. So Thomas is landing some little flush hooks here and there. He might have a little opening right now. Did they count that knockdown? Thomas Lamanna is doing a whole lot of taunting right now. He's trying to pull out every trick in the book to, get some type of reaction out of Jermall. But Jermall staying calm, cool, collected. And that's just how his demeanor is in the ring. Mason said he about to stop the boy. Yo, somebody tell me, did they count that knockdown, yes or no? Because I don't recall the ref counting. Charlo, you could tell he could smell the stoppage, bro. Like you could see it. He's staying controlled, but he knows he got some food on the line. They counted it? Oh, all right, cool. That looked like that was a good right hand from Thomas. Okay. Ooh, that jab rocked him. That jab rocked. Oh, yo. That jab had Thomas Lamanna rocked. Thomas Lamanna turned his back and they know where he was at. Holy fuck. That was a jab. Yo, Jermall is strong as fuck, bro. God damn. Did y'all see that? He literally didn't know where he was at. He thought the bell rung already. He lucky Jermall ain't run up on him and hit him with a sneaky little shot. That right hand got caught on the glove and it still rocked him. That's how you know Jermall's strong too. If he could hit your guard and still rock you or drop you, that just goes to show how strong he is, man. Nah, man, they gotta show that replay. I can't believe they didn't show that. Jermall hit him with a jab, and he literally did not know where he was. They stopped the fight, y'all. They stopped the fight. It's probably because of them, that last few seconds in that last round, man. Shit. Yeah, I didn't really like that stoppage. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more action take place. Thomas was definitely getting hurt. He didn't like the power that was coming his way, but maybe the referee was just thinking about Thomas Lamanna's safety. He probably seen where it was going, so he wanted to prevent further damage. That's just the doctor's job, people. And referees usually listen to doctors on their opinions because they are expertise in knowing what's healthy and what's not. You feel what I'm saying? I guess you would say so. That's just the doctor just being cautious. I'm not going to say Thomas Lamanna was getting the dog shit beat out of him, but there was a lot of shots that was landing, and Thomas Lamanna's his body language wasn't really there. You feel what I'm saying? Especially in them later moments in that fight. I would love to see that replay again because Jermall had hit him with a clean jab. And Thomas literally looked like he was on Queer Street. He looked like he didn't know where he was. He thought the bell rung. He had his back to Jermall Charlo. He looked like he was out of his senses for that moment. You know what I'm saying? So, based off of what we've seen with Jermall Charlo, man, listen. He looks strong. The jab, his accuracy is still there. His abilities are still there. The whole thing is we didn't really see him get pushed today, so we don't really know what he really has left. No disrespect to Thomas Lamanna, but he just didn't have what it took tonight to really bring something else out of Jermall Charlo. It literally looked like he was in cruise control this whole fight. But this jab was this is definitely the weekend of the jabs. Khalil Cole started it off, and Jermall Charlo is pretty much finishing it up for today, unless Caleb Plant got something in his bag against Resendiz. Jermall Charlo's jab was absolutely phenomenal. Every time he landed clean on Lamanna, it looked like, it had an effect on Lamanna. His body language is definitely showing it. The jab, the right hands, the right hooks, they all had an effect on Thomas Lamanna. He did what he could with what he had, but, at the end of the day, there's levels to this shit, man. I didn't really agree with the stoppage. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, but it is what it is. Jermall Charlo landed 33% of his jabs, 44 out of 133. His power, 23 out of 77. Total punches, 67 out of 210. And Thomas Lamanna's offense just wasn't here tonight either. You know what I'm saying? 14 jabs, landed total. There was just difference of levels, man.
He's the winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Jermall Hitman Charlo.
Jermall Charlo wins by round 6. Technical knockout. What's your thoughts on this, y'all? Hold on, let's actually hear Jermall Charlo's thoughts.
Look, it was inspirational after everything you've been through just to be in here. But the critics are looking at your boxing ability. From my vantage point, the timing was back. How did you feel from the ring rust standpoint?
I felt good. I took a trip out to Guinea and West Africa. And I hung out with my people at Equatorial Guinea. And I got to work, and I knew my time was there. Shout out to H, shout out to the president, the first lady. I want to thank y'all for always believing in me. And thank everybody on my team, man. I'm happy.
I don't have to tell you, there's a lot of talk out there of maybe a potential super fight between you and Caleb Plant in tonight's main event. What sort of statement do you think you made tonight about your standing of that potential matchup?
I was more so focused on this fight, getting this fight out the way. But yeah, they know what it is. They know where I'm at. I want my league back. You know what's going down.
There's been talk this week in boxing circles that boxing's more fun when the Charlo twins are on top, when they're active. What can we look forward to now in your future inside the ring?
Just to stay relevant, no more dark places, and keep my head straight, and just want to encourage everyone in the world, keep God first. Keep God first.
Jermall Charlo, quickly, he gave you a lot of credit for being one of the reasons he got up off the canvas in life and got back here. How do you rate your brother's performance?
It's about timing. It's about getting back on. It's about having my fun. It's about being here right now. We're not here trying to worry about what, we're trying to be in with the other fans want to see us.
Jermall Charlo popping his shit.
This could be the beginning of a Charlo Brothers comeback in 2025. Congratulations.
All right, that's Jermall Charlo's words. He said he want that get back against Caleb Plant. Yeah, he said they know what it is, so he looking for the smoke apparently. What are y'all thinking of Jermall Charlo's performance, man? What y'all thinking? Yeah, Ralph got the prediction right, man. Shout out to Ralph. He got that shit on the money, man. That's dope. Yeah, Charlo definitely whooped him. And this is why, and it is funny because Thomas Lammana had asked me about why I had thought that, I didn't like why I thought that he was completely out of his league with Jermall Charlo. You feel what I'm saying? I've seen Thomas Lammana fight multiple times, and he got some skills. You know what I'm saying? There was never no doubt, but I've always known with all the years that I've been in boxing that there's levels to this shit. You feel what I'm saying? There's good fighters, at a local level and stuff like that. And I've always looked at Thomas Lammana as a local level fighter. There's no disrespect. It's no disrespect at all. It's just that's just how I look at certain guys. It's like local level fighters. You know what I mean? There's contenders. You know what I mean? And then there's champions, and then there's like fucking pound for pound level fighters. That's how I really assess it. Like, you know, like in basketball, you know, everybody got their roles. The last man on the bench is a bad motherfucker. It just happens that the guys who are the all-stars and, you know, a part of the starting lineup and, you know, guys that's first team, all defense, they just on a different level in comparison to the guys that's the last man on the bench. You feel what I'm saying? And when he had asked me that question, like, yo, you said you didn't like this fight for me. And I didn't really understand what he was talking about at first. I thought he was saying I didn't like the fact that he got the opportunity. But looking back, I probably could have said something along the lines of, you know, I didn't like the style matchup for him. And in all honesty, I didn't. And this was probably, I mean, and it showed tonight. You feel what I mean? Jermall Charlo, yes, he's inactive. Yes, he got other things going on. You could tell that, you know, he probably didn't put his all into this training camp. That's very possible. You could tell how the way his body looked. He looked soft. You feel what I'm saying? Like he just came off of the couch, did a short little training camp, and got back in the mix. Hold up. Before I get into this, look at Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios standing here. Look at this fucking clown. Look at Mario Barrios' clown ass. Look at this. Manny Pacquiao looked like somebody like young grandpa, bro. Look at Pacquiao. He got 70 professional fights, 46 years old, 4.5-year layoff, and coming off of a loss and a terrible performance in an exhibition. This is sad, yo. Pacquiao looks old, man. Like he looked old in his face. Look at Barrios. Look at this guy. That's what I got a problem with.
Retirement, you know, to fight for my WBC title. It's an honor, you know, to be defending against him. But I'm expecting one of the hardest fights of my career, and I think that's exactly what people are going to see July 19th. I know the admiration and respect for Manny Pacquiao. How do you turn that off on fight night going in against a legend like this? Nothing but respect for him, nothing but respect for everything he's accomplished and done in his career. But at the end of the day, you know, he did that. He's trying to take one fight. So, like, once that bell rings, it's just business.
It's embarrassing, bro. He doing everything he can to keep that title, bro. He trying to cash out before he get that John up. Try to be an inspiration to inspiration. I try inspiration to the people. I give surprise to my fans. I look to make history. And I to. Shit is embarrassing, bro.
The world champion Armando Barrios, the living legend, Manny Pacquiao, July 19th, BBC on Prime Video pay-per-view. We'll come back tomorrow at Alice. All right, Brian, thank you very much. Still to come on.
Ask Barrios, no tough questions. Of course. These boys just be following the script, man. They don't give a fuck about the sport of boxing for real. But Armando Resendiz warming up in the back. Pause. 15-2 with 11 KOs. He got Manny Robles in his corner. Very a good trainer, in my opinion. A great trainer, actually. So I'm sure they cooking up a little game plan for Caleb Plant and stuff like that. And I'm sure Caleb Plant is warming up in the locker room as well. They haven't shown him yet, but they got Resendiz working on the pads right now, just working on some textbook shit. Look like he looks strong. He looks strong. But this is a guy who is essentially coming up from middleweight, from what I understand. So, he probably didn't have much. He didn't have like a tough weight cut at all. Probably feeling replenished, strong. And we in there, and he's gonna be in there with a full-fledged super middleweight who, isn't like this big dominant force in the ring, but he's still very strong. According to the money line, Caleb Plant is a 25-1 favorite. Armando Resendiz is an 11-1 underdog. They got Jermall. They say, Caleb Plant is a 2-1 favorite for the knockout tonight. Ooh-wee. So the odds makers are betting on Caleb Plant to get the stoppage today. Interesting. Man, Barrios is an absolute disgrace, bro. There's no way that you could justify this shit, man. You know what I mean? You could have got some fight. And you know what's crazy? Like, Barrios, he fought Tank, he fought Keith Thurman back to back. But I think now the way he's looking at it, Caleb Plant's getting taped up in the locker room, so he's about to get ready to make his ring walk. But he started off well in terms of like getting the people's respect. But now Barrios is probably like, all right, I'm in a prestigious position. Probably in his head, he know he can't really keep up. He probably knows he's the weakest link. Subconsciously, he knows. He won't ever admit it, but he knows that. So he's trying to get every dollar he can while he's in this moment. He's trying to cash out, before he hang it up. He want to get a few money fights under his belt. And I guess I understand it. But, as a boxer fan, what I mean? We looking to see him be a part of some unification fights. That's what we want. We want one champion in the division. We want fights that's going to push the sport of boxing forward. You feel what I mean? We don't want to see motherfuckers. We don't want to see legends cutting the line like Manny Pacquiao. Man, you've been retired for damn near half a decade. Should have just stayed your ass in the crib. You could have just kept in it doing exhibitions and getting paid if you having financial troubles or whatever the case is. But instead, you're interfering with the progression of boxing. You holding shit up for your own selfish reasons, and I don't really respect that. That's just me. But regardless, to get back to that Thomas Lamanna and Jermall Charlo situation, Thomas Lamanna was like, oh, I heard you say you don't like this fight for me, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I thought he was referring to, him getting the opportunity. That wasn't the case at all. But then really thinking about it, I guess he was talking about what I thought about the fight stylistically. And like I said, Thomas Lamanna has skills, but I didn't think he had what it took to defeat the higher level fighters. You just got to look back at Thomas Lamanna's history. He lost to guys like Jorge Cota, who, in my opinion, has never been on a Jermall Charlo's level. And I understand that styles make fights. And, I'm sure Thomas Lamanna, which he admitted on the channel, he was banking on Jermall Charlo not being the same. But he also admitted at the same time, even if he's not the same, he's still very dangerous. And it showed tonight. And one thing that I can say about Jermall Charlo, although he wasn't the most active fighter, he's never really lost his timing, which is a blessing in all honesty, because when you lose your timing, it's like nothing really seems to come together, offensively or defensively. I've had situations in sparring where my timing was off and I just couldn't perform how I wanted to. And the Jose Benavidez fight, his timing was there. You know what I'm saying? Thomas Lamanna, his timing was there, and his jab is absolutely phenomenal. So as long as he had that, he's taking steps in the right direction. Anonymous, I don't know how the fuck he still kept his timing throughout all these years of just sitting around, not boxing, but some people just got that, man. Some people just have those abilities that just don't go away, bro. I don't know. Or maybe, Jermall Charlo he's not somebody who he probably worked hard as shit in that gym and gets that timing back before he steps into the ring. I don't know. But in both fights that he's had on his comeback, like I said, the Jose Benavidez fight and the Thomas Lamanna fight, he has not lost his timing. His jab is still precise. You know what I mean? He's still snapping. You feel what I mean? So hopefully Jermall Charlo stays in the gym. He didn't really take any damage. Lamanna landed some shots here and there, but He couldn't keep up with. It was really the precision, y'all. That's what really broke Thomas down. He couldn't pick up Jermall Charlo's timing. The jab was making his mark each and every time. I'm surprised that the landing percentage was as low as it was in the jab department. I felt like he couldn't miss with the jab. It makes me really question the punch stats sometimes, but regardless, Jermall did a phenomenal job, man. He stood nice and composed, didn't really waste too much energy, but hopefully, going into this fight with Caleb Plant, he takes this training camp a lot more serious because this is a way more dangerous fight. So that's my assessment on the whole situation. There's levels. Jermall Charlo, too strong, too precise. And Thomas Lamanna couldn't really take what he was dishing out. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd Mayweather got this famous quote, you could dish it out, but can you take it? Thomas Lamanna couldn't really take it. Pause. You feel me? So Caleb Plant is making his ring walk right now. While I was talking, Resendiz made his way into the ring. What time is it? It's 10:07 over here. So this is going to be a quick night of boxing. And, after we do this fight right here, we're going to sit back. We're going to have our reactions to the fights. What we think about the possibility of Jermall and Caleb Plant fighting each other later on this year, who we picking to win. And then we'll get into some open boxing topics as always, man. But Caleb Plant is looking nice and relaxed. He's dancing all the way to the ring. I like his outfit, bro. Those are my favorite colors right there. If anybody knows me, red and black is my favorite colors. So that's a dope little outfit that he put together. And, he always had like Caleb Plant has always, presented himself real well with ring outfits and shit like that. He got the custom Grant gloves as well. Pretty dope. So we'll see. I like that revenge tour shit that Caleb Plant got going on. He got the revenge logo bedazzled and shit. Okay. I like it, champ. Let's go. Caleb Plant is officially in the ring. What's your predictions before we get into this fight right here? Ralph got this first prediction right. Ralph, I want to know your prediction on this one right here, man. Do y'all see a stoppage? The odds makers got Caleb Plant getting a knockout. What y'all thinking? I ain't gonna lie though. I'm gonna be honest. No disrespect to Recendes. I don't think he belongs in there with Jermall. I gotta stop saying Jermall. We passed Jermall. Caleb. I don't think he belongs in there with Caleb. And y'all already know how the saying goes. If they don't belong in there with you, you gotta get him up out of there. Breadman had a tough first fight with, Yo-Yo defeating Kyron Davis. So hopefully Breadman can solidify this victory right here. But I'm going to say this. Looking at Resendiz, that motherfucker got a wide-ass neck. Like, what the fuck going on? Pause. Caleb is definitely sharp, and he got some sneaky power. So if Resendiz is lacking, he get a little careless in there. He can run into some shit. Caleb ain't never had no trouble putting niggas on their ass. So Ralph says, I'll say fourth. Oh, so it's going to be an early night, huh? Getting packed up in the fourth round of like a 10 to 12 round fight, it's a bad job. That's an early night. Smoochie got to go in the distance, though. Coffee said first round. Damn. Resendiz getting packed up in the first round. Well, what's the stats? What's the stats with Caleb Plant getting first round knockouts? Let me see. I'm sure he got a few first round knockouts early in his career. Let me see. One, two, three, four, five, six. He only got 6 first round knockouts, and it was like all early in his career. So out of the 25 fights he had, the 23 wins he's had, he's only gotten 6, and it was all like, early on. Fought a few times, okay. I ain't know Caleb fought in Philly. in Bethlehem too. He fought at Bethlehem a lot, which is only like an hour away from Philly. That's what's up. Salute to Caleb Plant. Man, we got to appreciate these fighters while we got them, because Caleb Plant 32, man. We don't know when he's going to retire, but 32 is when you start, you still at your peak, depending on how the way you've been going in your career, you still at your peak, but then, that window is starting to come down a little bit. Resendiz doing a little prayer right now. Dangerous Desire Bully says they going 10 to 12. Plant ain't going to slug and give him no chance for dude to catch him. This dude could hit. Plant got a box and break him down. But Plant is very sharp too. Like his punches are very sharp. So he could catch Resendiz with some shit he don't see. For sure. But Resendiz don't mind rumbling. We know that. We seen that shit in the Jared Hurd fight, the Elijah Garcia fight. He don't mind rumbling. So it's crazy how Elijah Garcia fell off, right? He started off real well and then just fell apart. So we got the first round started. Caleb Plant probing that lead hand, trying to keep him at bay. Caleb Plant showcases some good hand speed off the rip. Good hook from Plant, but that was caught on the guard by Resendiz. Resendiz is walking to him, trying to get some upper body movement, coming in behind the high guard, and Caleb Plant's just trying to keep him at range, trying to keep him at the end of his punches, which is smart. You know what I mean? You don't want no big puncher like Resendiz getting within your vicinity. You know what I'm saying? So Caleb Plant starting off smart, keeping that jab on him, keeping that lead hand in his face. I see Resendiz trying to change his levels and go to that body. So let's see how Caleb Plant responds. And if I'm Resendiz, that's exactly what I'm looking to do. First of all, you gotta be on your toes defensively and not get too reckless, because Caleb Plant is fast, his punches is sharp, he's sneaky. So you don't want to get hit with no shit that you don't see. So if I'm Resendiz, I'm definitely getting that upper body movement going. You know what I mean? Attempting to take a page out of Canelo Alvarez's book. And walk Caleb Plant, walk to him, and try to establish some type of body attack, because Caleb Plant, from what I've assessed, in his career, he does fatigue. You know what I'm saying? I think that's been one of Caleb Plant's biggest problems, in all honesty. Once it gets, to those later rounds, Caleb Plant starts showing signs, mouth open, and, like his punches don't have the same snap that they would in the early rounds. And it's almost like he's just trying to coast to a victory at that point. He's not really pushing the action after, showing signs of fatigue. So if I'm Resendiz, I'm definitely attempting or looking to find ways to get to that body early. Because Caleb Plant does start off very sharp, very fast, and he got some dog. But if you're able to get a little bit of gas out his tank, then you'll be in a better position for sure. But boxing from long range like this, it's going to be an easy day for Caleb. So Resendiz got to, that might have been a little fill out round for Resendiz, but he definitely lost that one. And if I'm Caleb Plant, I'm just doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to allow you to keep boxing at long range, just keep that jab on him. You know what I'm saying? Build your combinations off of your jab. And whenever he seems to be trying to settle his feet or whatever the case is, you make him reset. You make him reset. If you're the type of boxer that Caleb Plant is, you use what God gave you, and you use that to have the advantage in the fight. If you're the smarter, faster, more athletic, quicker, overall superior boxer, then that's what you should be doing. Shouldn't be taking no chances with a strong guy like Resendiz. Well, I'm sure it's feeling a lot stronger at the super middleweight limit. So Caleb Plant is doing, going right back to what he did in the first round, keeping that lead hand out there, not allowing Resendiz to get within his range. And, Resendiz just caught Caleb Plant just, reaching a little bit. But I see what Caleb Plant's trying to do now. He's trying to be a little bit more authoritative with that jab and push Resendiz back a little bit because, since the first round, Resendiz has been looking to be the aggressor. So Caleb Plant's attempting to neutralize Resendiz's aggression right now, which is a smart move. The jab could definitely throw off an aggressive fighter's rhythm, their timing. You know what I mean? So, smart move. Smart move from Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant utilizing feints as well, and Resendiz is biting on it. So, it's some smart boxing from Caleb. Good jab for Resendiz. Good right hook to the body from Resendiz. You definitely want to put that pressure. That's exactly where you want to get Caleb at. You want to get Caleb against them ropes, man. And I see that Resendiz is a lot smaller from a physical aspect, but, he looks strong. So I still believe, even though he's a smaller guy physically, I still think that he can impose himself in the strength department because Caleb Plant isn't really like the most physical, aggressive type fighter. He likes to box behind the science. You know what I'm saying? He would prefer to just box you. You feel what I'm saying? He's a box at first type of guy. He don't really want to slug it out with anybody if he can help it. So Resendiz got to make him fight, to be honest with you. Because this whole, player chess type shit, that's not going to work on Resendiz's end. Good jab to the body from Caleb. The difference in hand speed is apparent. You see what I'm saying? But you could tell Caleb Plant is aware of Resendiz's power, hence why, he's not really taking that many chances early, but he's definitely outboxing him for sure. Good second round from Caleb Plant. It's definitely 2-0 Caleb Plant, in my opinion, even though Resendiz had a little bit more moments in this round. I seen him land to the body and land the jab. But besides that, Caleb Plant, the ring generalship, he's there. He outlanded Resendiz overall, so I have to give Caleb Plant the first 2 rounds. So that's some good corner advice from Manny Robles. He's pretty much advising Resendiz to neutralize that lead hand. That's going to be easier said than done just based off of the difference in hand speed between both guys. And just, Caleb Plant being, the overall quicker dude. But that's great corner advice from Manny Robles. You feel what I'm saying? And he's advising to bring that right hand to the body as well. Like I said, I think Armando Resendiz has to do his best Canelo impersonations, just based off of the tools that he has, what he brings to the table. You know, you definitely want to bring that high guard. You definitely want to walk the Caleb Plant. And once you get him where you need to get him, then you can start being a little bit more aggressive. And I can see, you know, Resendiz is trying his best, but he's having trouble with Caleb Plant's hand speed, and he's having trouble getting the range down. Caleb Plant landed a good left hook. Good left hook to the body from Caleb. Caleb getting a little bit more fluid in there. Ooh. That was nice. That was a nice lead right hand. That was a little crafty move from Caleb. You could tell Caleb was a student for real. He threw that lead right hand, got in the southpaw stance, and then fired that jab since he got in the southpaw stance, he was able to shoot that once lead hand as a straight left hand. That was pretty crafty. Shit. I don't know what just happened. I like Caleb Plant's little defensive traffic too. Turning him, getting him out the way. Good little shit he got going on right there. It's a little bit of redness on Caleb Plant's in the middle of his head. What the fuck just happened? What was that, yo? Look like some good right hand. Ooh, that bothered Caleb Plant. That hurt him. Recendes just hit Caleb Plant with a flush right hand. That hurt him, bro. He responded. Recendes peeped it too. That was a clean right hand. He has to step on the gas. He can't let Caleb Plant recover. Oh wow, that was a flush right hand, y'all. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. And Caleb Plant looked like he got a little that don't look like a cut, but it looked like some type of abrasion. Woo-wee! I gotta see that again. Caleb Plant got rocked right there. He played that shit off, but Resendiz saw it. Resendiz is strong. I'm telling you, he moving up to 68, but with them little gloves, them dudes punching, man. I'm telling you, we gotta see that replay. Let's take a look. Got to see that right hand that landed. That was a nice right hand. That was a good jab. Okay, so that's what started it. But there was a right hand that landed. Nah, man, there was another one. How y'all? All right. Let me see that right hand. Boom! Right hook. Right over Caleb Plant's shoulder. He responded very negatively to that, in my opinion. Ooh! That rock Caleb. That was right on the chin, too. Caleb got a little bit of swelling on his nose from that jab. So Resendiz is strong, yo. Let's not, he's coming up in weight, but you still got to respect his hand. They gave Resendiz that third round probably because of how the way he closed it, I guess. So 2-1, that's a good score on Larry Hazard's part, in my opinion. So Caleb Plant being a little bit more active. He looking to get his get back. He ain't like how the way that round ended. He caught his girl there. He got his shot. I'm sure Resendiz got his girl there too. Shit. So Resendiz, he get a little bit more confident. You can tell. Caleb's not really, he showcasing fast hands, but I don't really see him sitting down on none of his punches just yet. You know what I mean? I think he's just utilizing the speed right now. I wonder when he's going to decide to really sit down and start turning them shots over. Resendiz got to be a little bit more assertive, though, man. Like this boxing at bay shit, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And I'm not sitting here acting like I want Resendiz to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you what I feel like, he should do, considering that he's being outmatched right now. He's shooting that left hook to the body. So I think Caleb Plant is trying to find some type of opening up top. I think he's trying to bluff. I think he's trying to get him to drop that hand so he can bring that left hook over the top. That's definitely some abrasions on Caleb's face, though. Come on, you got to work. Resendiz got to work, man. He got to work. He's missing a lot of opportunities right now. Caleb Plant is outlanding Resendiz in the body shot department. Go right hand to the body from Resendiz. What are y'all thinking of Caleb Plant's performance so far? Does he look sharp to y'all? What y'all thinking? I see Caleb Plant, like he's having good moments and shit, but I don't know. I thought that he would have been a little bit more dominant or a little bit more aggressive with Resendiz. Not spectacular. We still early in the fight, so I don't want to, say anything crazy or make any assumptions, but Resendiz, you could tell he's giving him a little bit of fits in there. Time. So that was the end of 4. So for the Coffee Plant, you said it's all right, clearly focused on long range. Yeah. Rouse said 4th. His prediction is out of the window. Coffee Plant said 1st round. That's out of the window. How y'all see the fight going? I think Caleb will adjust like he did with McCumbee. Yeah. But the thing is, McCumbee was dangerous at long range, so Caleb Plant had to resort to fighting on the inside. Fighting on the inside, not going to be a smart move with somebody like Resendiz because, them Mexicans, that's their shit. That's their specialty. So, you pretty much got to do the opposite. Instead of resorting to trying to fight on the inside, you got to do what you've been doing since the beginning and just keeping it at long range. Because as long as, Resendiz is at the end of Caleb's punches, he really won't have any spectacular moments. The thing is, Caleb Plant got to use his feet a little bit more to get out of dodge because Resendiz is fast enough to, close the gap real quick and get some shit off. Like how he did when Caleb goes against the ropes. He landed a good jab and then landed a good overhand right that stunned him a little bit. So you gotta use your feet a little bit more. Good jab from Resendiz. You see how Caleb Plant's mouth is open right now, though? Like, y'all see that? Like, I don't know if that's just how he moves or what, but, like, that gives me signs of a fighter who fatigued. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he's fatigued right now, but that's a little subtle sign to me. Plant always gasses out between 6 to 7. I've noticed that, but he's always been a great enough boxer to, still win those rounds to a unanimous decision. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't look fatigued right now. That's not what I'm getting at, but he showed. Ooh, that was a good little body shot from Resendiz. What's up, you all right? Cool. What we got here to eat, man? You got anything or no? Good little uppercut on the inside for Plant. But this is the type of fight he should be avoiding. I don't think he really wants to. Resendiz is a lot more physical than Caleb. He's a lot more aggressive. So you want to take that away from him. I don't know. Caleb Plant looks a little off to me, man. Caleb looks a little off to me. I don't know what it is. he moves too much, takes big energy. Yeah, but you would think like because he trains that way that he'll be conditioned to move in those rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like if you train that way, it shouldn't be nothing to move for 12 rounds like that. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Caleb Plant. I know he puts in the work. I know he trains hard as fuck. Like I heard Bradman speak about his work ethic now. He don't cut no corners, and I don't know if that might be a genetic thing because I don't know. And I always felt like that was like his Achilles heel in terms of being a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant's being a little predictable with that lead hand too. How did y'all score that round? That was a little bit more competitive. What's y'all thoughts? Let me know what y'all thinking.
Here we see a replay of Resendiz body work. There's a short body back there by Resendiz. Those are sharp, short body work. And those hurt really bad.
Still give it to Plant. I ain't mad at it. Bully said Plant gonna lose this fight. Really? So they got it 48-47. So they got it 3-2 Caleb. I ain't mad at that scorecard neither. That last round, Caleb's game plan, he wasn't consistent. He gave Resendiz too many moments. Good body work. Caleb Plant already threw 210 punches in 6 rounds, though. So maybe that's playing a part. Caleb's making it a little bit too easy for Resendiz to get in range, though. I don't like that. Caleb does not look good, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. The momentum is really changing right now. I'm not tripping. I see what I'm seeing right now. What the fuck is wrong with Caleb, dog? What's going on? He started off well, man. Oh, man. Son look awful, Caleb, bro. He allowing Resendiz to get his jab off and all. Them early rounds, you wasn't even letting him get close to you. Now you letting this man. Ooh, good right hand. Ooh, that rock Caleb. That rock Caleb again. Oh, Caleb about to go. Caleb about to go down. Caleb about to go down. Oh my God. What the fuck is going on? Yo, he hurt Caleb again. Yo, this is not going too well, yo. I'm telling you. Caleb got to wake the fuck up. That rock Caleb, bro. Yeah, RC, I agree with you totally. There's something happened. Ooh, beautiful right hand. That rock Caleb bad. Oh my God. Resendiz is really cracking though, bro. He's really cracking. Woo! How the fuck did he get that right hand in there in close range like that? He like turned it over a little bit. He was able to sneak that joint right on the chin. He would have thrown it straight. It would have went past Caleb's shoulder. He turned that bitch in a little bit. That's that crafty Mexican offensive shit he got going on right there. Look, Caleb gonna try to be a little bit more assertive now. But Resendiz got that last round too, so I got this shit tied up 3-3. Caleb got to wake up, man. I don't know what happened, bro. Like, oh, he started off so well, and then like his stamina just dropped. Did he get hit with a body shot? That jab is landing for Resendiz. That's not a good sign, y'all. You can't be letting Resendiz close the gap like that. He too strong. He too dangerous for that. Caleb definitely looks off, man. Something's wrong. He looks slow. He looks lethargic now. Like, what the fuck? He making this shit a lot harder than what it need to be, man. Look, them little shots on the inside, them little short shots to the body on the inside. That's dangerous too. You don't want those to pile up. Good fucking jab. Now it look like Resendiz can't miss with that jab. This is not good. This is not good if you Caleb Plant right now. In the 7th round, you cannot be letting this man get off like that. Them shots inside is killing Caleb, man. He got no business being in there. He's letting Resendiz get off, man. He landed clean body shots. This is not what you need to be doing in the 7th round if you're looking to get to the 12th and still have a gas tank. Caleb is not using his jab. He's letting Resendiz come in. Why is Caleb not throwing his jab? I wonder if he got like an elbow problem or what. Because now he's just throwing hooks. He's just touching. He's not turning his punches over at all. Caleb lost this round, y'all. He lost this round. I'm telling you. Both of these guys need to feel the urgency, y'all. One, Caleb Plant, you got something big in front of you. You lose this fight, you fuck up your whole opportunity, especially getting big fights with fucking Berlanga, possible Canelo rematch, whatever the case is. All that shit that you looking to get in terms of getting a world title, that's going to fall out the window if you lose to Resendiz. Resendiz needs to feel the urgency because these matchmakers, the higher ups, want Caleb Plant and Charlo to fight at the end of the year. If you make any of these rounds competitive, they're gonna give the rounds to Caleb Plant. They will take this fight away from you if you don't show that you want this shit. So they both need to feel the urgency. They both need to wake up. But Resendiz has won these last few rounds, in my opinion. Larry Hazard got Resendiz up by 1 point. Nigga said Berlanga stops playing. That's crazy. Oh. Caleb's momentum has completely fallen off. What the fuck happened? It must have something that happened that, you know, I'm not aware of, that I didn't notice. Did this man get injured in the middle of the... He started off really well. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch these rounds, man. Something happened. But Resendiz needs to feel the urgency and stop playing, bro. We at the 8th round. You ain't got all the time in the world. You got to work. Oh. Caleb ain't got no steam on them punches, man. Or at least it don't look like it. Man, Resendiz got to stop smothering himself. He can't allow Caleb Plant to time up. That's just giving him more time to work. I mean, more time to recover. Man, Caleb Plant is reaching with his jab now. He's smothering his jab. This man has completely fallen apart. And Caleb's just trying to smother Resendiz so he can't work. Resendiz just landed 2 nasty right hooks back to back. Oh. Resendiz letting off on Caleb. What the fuck is going on? That was a little headbutt from Resendiz, though. That was a little dirty. I've seen Caleb Plant gas out before, but I haven't seen him gas out that suddenly. Like, I've seen it happen like throughout the course of the round. He started off well, and then all of a sudden just fell apart. What's going on? Resendiz won this round too. Slime said, I'm going to bed. Watch the fight, man. It ain't over yet. It ain't over till it's over. Look at Jordan Plant. She looks stressed. Look at body shot from Plant. Look at Caleb Plant's sides though. Look how red his body is on the sides. Caleb's sitting down on some shots now, as he should. Yeah, Plant sitting down now. It's like he caught a second wind or something. But he's still getting hit flush from Resendiz. Good jab, Caleb. So far, so good in the 9th round for Plant. The jab from Resendiz. Ooh. Good exchange to the body from both guys. But to be honest with you, Resendiz is a little reserved right now. And this is he going to hate himself if he chooses to do this. If he don't take advantage of these moments, he could lose it all. He needs this for his career, man. He had some up and downs. Oh, good right hand. Oh. See, Resendiz is outlanding Caleb Plant in the power department. He's throwing more and landing more. And you know, Caleb Plant, he's throwing some good shots, but like I said, they don't have the steam. He ain't really got no steam. Like Resendiz ain't really respecting it. And the speed looked like it came down a little bit from them early rounds too. Oh, good body. Woo. Good uppercut. That inside work, Resendiz is getting the better of it right now. All right. How y'all got a score so far? Y'all, let me know what it is. Plant holding so much. Yeah, I think that's what's fucking him over and why Resendiz is outworking him. And this is why you don't let fights marinate. That's a fact, brother. That's a fact. Let me pin that real quick. That's why you don't let fights marinate. I try to tell y'all niggas, man. And you know, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. Maybe Caleb Plant could pull some shit off. You know what I mean? Before it's all said and done. But still, you know what I mean? Like, these little situations is too risky, man. You know what I mean? Like, these underdogs don't be having nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Look, they were just favoring Caleb Plant to stop Resendiz. And look at how the way Resendiz is doing right now. And you know what's crazy? Regardless of this outcome and what happens, Resendiz could get knocked out this next round. His stock is gonna go up off of this because ain't nobody think that this will be this competitive. This is why you don't let fights marinate. Let's take a fight before we seen that happen so many times. It backfires a lot, actually, bro. Now Larry Hazard has an 87-84, and I'm inclined to agree with him. I do think Resendiz got like 5 rounds in a row. He had a little, maybe Caleb, man, I mean, that ninth round, you know, Caleb had some good moments, but I see Resendiz snapping his head back in the pocket. Looked like he had the more effective punches. Now we're in the 10th round, so we got 3 more rounds left. That's why we don't let fights marinate, y'all. We just seen it with Rolly and Bryan. We seen it with Wilder and Parker. We seen it happen with Jarrett Hurd and J-Rock. Like when J-Rock was supposed to fight Jermall. Like, this is why we don't do this. It's a very risky situation. You underestimating guys whole time they having a training camp of their life. And I'm not saying Caleb Plant underestimated him. I'm sure he was focused. He a true fighter. You know what I'm saying? He studied the greats. He know what it is. He's a student for real. But at the same time, you know, he didn't have to fight Resendiz. That right hand is there for Resendiz too, man. Caleb Plant, lead hand, very low. Resendiz got to catch, and you know, Caleb is overextending himself in situations too. That overhand right is there for Resendiz, man. It's there. I don't know if Resendiz doesn't see it, but it's there. Resendiz needs to take advantage of these moments, though, man, because they will rob him. If he's not really imposing themselves, they will rob him, bro. I'm telling you. They ain't got no use for Resendiz for bigger fights down the line. They ain't gonna make no real money with Resendiz. He gotta really beat this dude ass if you want to see any type of change. Ooh, good uppercut. Them uppercuts on the inside is killing Plant too. Ooh, come on, you gotta work. Caleb Plant letting you work. Them short shots on the inside killing Plant, bro. Them short shots, they pile up, bro. I'm telling you. They might not look hard, but they break you down. I'm surprised Recendes ain't find that right hand yet. It's there, bro. It's not looking good, man. Slime, cut it out, man. Just enjoy the fights, cuz. Jordan Plant look a little stressed out. What the fuck is that? That's your phone? Babe. Babe. That's your phone? Well, I said, what the fuck is that? Plant losing. Can we all agree that Plant's losing right now, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know. Is Plant losing? Or is it closer than what I'm playing it? Y'all let me know what it is. Let me know. Am I tripping or what? Slime said Plant winning. Stop trolling, Plant. Slime, let me know what it is. You trolling or you serious? Coffee said Charlo would have stopped Plant. That pressure would have definitely been a bad John. They got a 97-93. So now Resendiz is completely pulling away. He gave him 6 rounds in a row. Plant losing right now. I mean, it ain't over yet, y'all. You know what I mean? And we don't even know the verdict. We don't know what these judges thinking. So, but regardless, this is a terrible performance from Caleb, man. I know. If he loses this fight, watch Edgar Berlanga and all them niggas talk all this shit about Caleb. Watch. Ooh, good fucking body. Look at Caleb's ribs, bro. Look at his ribs on his left side. How red. Look at all the redness. Resendiz is ripping this boy. It looks like he getting a little bit of a laceration on the right side of his face, too. Is he cut? Ooh, look like Caleb's cut. Caleb cut on that right eye. Oh, man. This is not good, man. This is really not good. He's bleeding. I don't know if it been happened, but I'm just noticing it. That blood is trickling on that right side of his eye. Yeah, that shit underneath his eyebrow is completely split. So now he's going to have trouble seeing out that right eye. You definitely don't want this happening in them later rounds when you fatigued and, getting rocked several times by punches. Oh, man. Oof. Oof. Fucking right hooks to the body. They sound crazy. But I was telling y'all early on that Caleb Plant looked kind of off. I was telling y'all, what y'all think of his? I was asking, what do y'all think of his performance so far? Because it looked like he was dwindling out. I was noticing the momentum fading. Oof. Ooh. Shit. Plant is stronger than him. He got to fight. It don't look like it, bullies. He don't look like he's stronger than Resendiz at all. Just because just because somebody moving up don't mean that, you know what I mean, you stronger than them. Like we seen it with Terrence Crawford and Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was at 47. Crawford was moving up. Crawford was significantly stronger than Jeff Horn. Just because you coming from a smaller weight class don't mean that you're weaker. Resendiz look like he's physically stronger than Caleb Plant. He's definitely punching harder than Caleb Plant. He look like a strong motherfucker though. And Resendiz not even breathing hard. Nigga, why don't you step on the gas? What the fuck you doing? Totally different body languages in the corners between Resendiz and Plant. For sure. Caleb giving us some in and out movement right now. They got it 106, 103. So they actually gave Plant the last round. I don't know. I don't know if Caleb got that last round, but
Wasting energy, waste that energy throwing punches. We've also never seen this mature a boxing performance from Resendiz before. Not on this level.
Sundays, you gotta close the gap, bro. Ooh, good body. Gotta work. Gotta work. Caleb giving us some good in and out movement though. Oh. Right hands back to back from Resendiz. And you see, that's how you know Caleb playing fatigue. Because look, he was just doing the in and out movement. Now he don't even got the legs to finish the round doing that. Now he's back to the flat-footed, the flat-footed approach. That's how you know players truly fatigued. Wow. Oh, big right hand from Recendes. Oh, another big one. Yeah, Caleb's in trouble, man. Caleb experience is getting him by, like his ring savviness, but he's definitely he lost this fight, yo. I'm sorry. And I hate to say that. I don't know how these judges gonna have it scored. I really could care less how the judges got it scored. You can't tell me Recendes didn't win this fight. You cannot tell me he didn't win this fight. Look at the overall punching, total punches landed. He almost landed 100 more punches than Caleb Plant in 12 rounds. How can you even justify giving the fight to Caleb Plant or even scoring it a draw? Look, 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. We're in the 12th round. Who would have fucking thought, bro, that Armando Resendiz would have gotten the upset over Caleb Plant? Crazy. Good jab from fucking Resendiz. Wow. 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. Oh, shit. Oh my God, Armando Resendiz just pulled on the upset against Caleb Plant. Bro, that fucking Plant and Charlo fight is down the motherfucking drain. God damn. We don't want to see Charlo and Resendiz. What the fuck? Oh my God. And they all know it too. Look at that shit. Oh my God. This is why we don't let fights marinate, people. I can't believe it. I was holding on to the very last second. I cannot believe this shit. Oh my God. This is why we don't do these little. I'm trying to tell you that letting that shit marinate is good for business and all that, but it's a very risky move. Letting fights marinate, that's good for business. We seen it with Pacquiao Floyd. But it's very risky business, and this is one of the reasons why, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I had to score 8-4 for Resendiz, man. 8-4 Resendiz. 116, 112. Bro, Anonymous, it happens. It's starting to happen a lot more often. People are not really picking up on this shit. It's starting to become very common that when you let when these tune-ups, they go left, bro. I don't know if it's because like, you know, it really rejuvenates the underdog. It gets the underdog hype, or like these A-side guys be overlooking the underdog. I don't know what it is. Look at these CompuBox final stats, man. Power 109 for Resendiz, 70 for Caleb Plant, 77 in the jab department for Resendiz, and 38 for Plant. He completely outclassed. He outclassed him. It is crazy that I'm saying that. I would have never thought that Armando Resendiz would outclass Caleb Plant in a 12-round fucking boxing match. Split decision. Some bullshit. That's how I had it. 116, 112. 7-5 Caleb. Wow. Don't tell me it's a draw. I think Resendiz got it, y'all. Oh my God. Armando Resendiz pulls up the split decision against Caleb Plant. Whoever scored a 7-5 for Plant needs to be investigated. That was a trash-ass scorecard, man. Absolutely trash-ass scorecard. 8-4 is how MarkMazuma TV had it, and the two other judges had it as well. Shout out to Steve Weisfield for, you know, giving Armando Resendiz that victory, and the other judge as well, because, you know, that was absolute bullshit. 7-5 Plant is ridiculous. You can't justify that. Damn, yo, whoever bet on Resendiz got paid, bro. Fuck. Caleb, don't step out of the ring. Don't step out of the ring, Caleb. 2-0 versus former world champion. So that's Jared Hurd and Caleb Plant on his resume. That's not bad. That's not bad. You got a former unified world champion and a fucking former world champion on your resume. Wow.
A lot of wild chaos here, big celebration. But Armando, how nervous were you when you heard split decision? Split decision. Yeah, what? No, realmente no me preocupó mucho. Yo confío mucho en el Señor. Yo dije que lo que Él tenga para mí, eso va a ser. I didn't really worry because I left it all to God. I knew that I was going to win, and I didn't worry at all. Además, fue una pelea buena. Because I knew it was a tough fight. It was a great fight. You said you would pull.
I would have been worried. You tripping. If I hear a split, I'm like, fuck.
Dijiste que ibas a ganar, que ibas a hacer el upset y que querías a Charlo. ¿Qué piensas ahora? Yo estoy listo para dar pelea a todo el público. I'm ready to fight anyone, whoever the public wants. Congratulations on a breakthrough victory.
Shout out to Evan Morris for the translation. He actually a better translator than that guy they be having at PBC all the time. Ironically. All right, let's see. Let's see what the people saying on the net.
It was a close decision, a split decision. Do you agree with the three judges ringside?
I mean, I felt like it was close, and in a close fight, sometimes it swings the other way. I feel like I was in control enough, and using the whole ring, using my jab, but the judges see it the other way, so.
Nah, Caleb, this fight wasn't close, brother.
A pressure fighter. Was any part of his boxing ability surprising for you in there tonight?
No, not really. It wasn't like overbearing pressure. He got me one overhand right. That's pretty good. But other than that, nothing really hurt me or stung me. But
you got hurt multiple times, Plant. Stop it, man.
Were you frustrated in your performance then?
I felt like I did good. I used my jab, used the whole ring.
No.
Was patient, but I wasn't better than, and I guess I felt like I didn't pull it off, but it's not the way it went.
Come on, Plant.
We thought that a victory
Come on, Plant.
could produce a fight with Jermall Charlo, but where do you go from here? after this close defeat?
Yeah, just get back to my team, go with my family, spend time with my daughter, my son's on the way, and we'll regroup it. We'll be back.
Congratulations.
No, Plant. This wasn't close, Plant.
Thanks for being a stand-up fighter. Let's go back to ringside. And Laurel Ronaldo.
All right, Brian, Caleb Plant was ahead 15.
Plant don't like that style, man. He don't like that style. Nathaniel said, just notice this. Plant has lost 3 fights to pressure fighters. Canelo, Benavidez, Resendiz. All respect to Resendiz. He showed up. He definitely did. He definitely did, man. You got to give him his props. He was a huge, huge underdog, man. And he did what we didn't really imagine in reality. You know what I'm saying? You know, when the fight first got announced, you know, we automatically swept Resendiz under the rug. We underestimated him. We thought that, you know, and I criticized Caleb Plant for taking him as an opponent. You know, I thought that Resendiz wasn't qualified for the opportunity, but man, he proved me wrong. He definitely proved me wrong. He was strong. You know, he was focused, looked confident in there. He let his hands go. He was not scared of Caleb Plant's boxing ability at all. You could tell he was very prepared. That was his first 12 rounds. That was the first time he went 12 rounds, and he looked phenomenal. He looked absolutely phenomenal. So I could tell they definitely put in the work. Another great win added to Resendiz's resume, along with Manny Robles, who I believe is a phenomenal trainer. Caleb Plant, he started off well. You know, he was boxing. He was keeping them at range, showcasing some fast hands. But he just completely lost momentum after the fourth round. After the fourth round, I'm going to say, you know, things went left pretty quick. It wasn't gradually. It was almost suddenly. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it was that really caused Caleb Plant to fall apart like that. You know, he got hurt several times throughout the fight. He couldn't get away from Resendiz's jab after a while. He was showing extreme signs of fatigue. That's why I was asking you guys, what do y'all think of Caleb Plant's performance? Because he started off high and then just dropped down like right away. It was almost it kind of reminds me of the Mario Barrios Abel Ramos situation where you know Barrios started off well, then completely fell apart. What caused that? I have absolutely no clue. But at this point in time, Caleb Plant has 3 losses: Canelo, Benavidez, Resendiz. And like Bethaniel says, they all share something in common. They're different fighters, but they share something in common in terms of being come forward, aggressive, punchers. You feel what I'm saying? And Caleb Plant, you could just tell that his body language, he was hurt, fatigued. He got a lot of will, he got a lot of grit, determination. So I didn't question his mental at all. He never looked like he wanted to get out of the ring or get up out of there or anything like that. But at the same time, you could see that, he had trouble keeping Resendiz up off of him. And I honestly thought that Resendiz could have been more aggressive, and based off of these guys' skill sets and their abilities, I still feel like Caleb Plant could have defeated this guy. But for some reason, Caleb Plant completely fell apart. His stamina was not there whatsoever. And, once he gets fatigued, his body language is all over the place and he's more susceptible to being hit. You know what I mean? No steam on his punches whatsoever. He gave nothing for Resendiz to respect. And I thought Resendiz won 8 rounds to 4. So shout out to the 2 judges who actually scored it correctly. Thought 116, 112 was a very fair scorecard. 115, 113 in Caleb Plant's favor is absolutely disgusting. They need to investigate that guy and see exactly what his motives is and if he's actually going to be a fair judge, because that was absolutely disgusting. I ain't even going to lie to you. There's no way somebody could sit here in front of me, MarkMazuma TV, and tell me that Caleb Plant won 7 rounds tonight. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Started off well. He had the right game plan. So I'm not going to shit on his coaches, because I could tell they had the right thing in mind in terms of, keeping that lead hand out there, fast hands, giving some lateral movement. It was something, it had to be something internally with Caleb Plant where he suddenly started to doubt himself, or something wrong with him physically where he couldn't perform at an optimum level. I've seen Caleb Plant perform at an optimum level. Trevor McCumbee, Anthony Durrell, Jose Uzcategui, even though he showed fatigue a little bit in some of them fights, however, he still did what it took to defeat these guys. You know, Uskadagi was a pressure fighter, pressure fighter. So he's capable of defeating these types of styles. But something either physically or internally happened with Caleb Plant where he was no longer able to perform at a high level. Absolutely disappointing. This is why we don't let fights marinate. And what's crazy is I'm sure they did a tune-up fight on Jermall Charlo's behalf, not Caleb Plant's. Jermall Charlo ends up coming out successful. Caleb Plant doesn't. That's just how the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. People, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm starting to wonder exactly what that was. So that's definitely one of the upsets of the year, man. Where do y'all rank? I want to know in the comments. Y'all let me know what it is. Where do y'all rank this as being the upset of the year so far? Where do y'all rank this? I think this is at, I don't know if it's number one, but it's definitely at the top. It's up there. Resendiz, he's definitely up there. High rank player. Shout out to the boy Aaron. It's up there, number one so far. Lorenzo's opinion. Slime says number one. Syfe Bud. Shout out to Syfe Bud in the building. Self-taught BS says number two. What's number one then? Let me know what it is. Self-taught. Plant ain't got no power. I disagree. I think he does have power, but for some reason he wasn't sitting down on his punches. Simple Boxing, what up? Self-taught. Let me know what was number one. Justin Jackson said he not even on Wikipedia. This is a number one upset. Well, the motherfucker about to have a Wikipedia now. And we really got to put some respect on Resendi's name from now on. For me, number one is Rolly. I never really thought too much of Ryan Garcia, but I see why you say that, brother. I never thought too much. I'm the one that I didn't look at it as number one because I picked Rolly to win. That's just me, though. But I was picking Caleb Plant to win. I was wrong. That happens. That's how boxing goes sometimes. You can know so much, and boxing just make you feel like you know nothing. That's how this sport go. That's what makes it a great. That's part of what makes boxing a great sport. You truly never know what'll happen. Should Plant move up? I don't think he has the qualities necessary to compete at 175, in my opinion. When we look over the climate of light heavyweight, Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, David Benavidez, David Morrell, bigger, stronger guys who apply pressure and are cracking. I don't know if Caleb Plant could keep up with them type of dudes, man. Like, you just struggle with a middleweight that moved up to fight you. I don't know if you can handle 175 pressure. I don't know if you can handle a 175 and 175's punching power. I don't know. No, stay at 168 or drain down to 60. I think I seen Caleb Plant attempt to fight at 160 before, but it probably had too much of an effect on him. It probably made him feel weak. So I think he's just stuck at 68, honestly. You know, and there's guys who maybe and you know, sad is Caleb Plant in an awkward position because if he's having trouble making 168, you know, he's too small for 75. You know what I'm saying? He was looking like Canelo cousin in there. Well, I was saying from the beginning that he needs to take a page out of Canelo Alvarez's book in terms of, you know, being the aggressor, coming forward, high guard, rip to the body. And, you know, Resendiz started off slow, but, you know, his power made his mark. As soon as he was able to find an opportunity to land some power shots, it had an effect on Caleb Plant immediately. If you're Belonga, what you thinking? Focus on Hamza Shiraz because you might not make it out of that fight neither. That's what I'm thinking. He ain't a newbie. Got them older legs, man. Hard to manifest strength again from older legs. Well, his legs didn't really look stuck in the mud or anything. It might have been a situation where Resendiz landed a good body shot like Benavidez did, and it really took the gas out of Caleb Plant's tank because there was some short shots to the body that Resendiz was throwing. And, you know, even though they didn't look like they had that much of an effect, them short body shots could really do some damage. You know what I'm saying? I got to look back and see what's going on. Shout out to Self-Taught BS. I agree with you, brother. Eric Lopez said, you don't think it was suspicious he didn't breathe heavy at all? Who you referring to, Resendiz? If that's who you're referring to, no, not at all. There's some people who could go 12 rounds and not be tired. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at that really as a, you know, I don't really look at that as like a crazy situation. I don't think that's odd. But man, what's going to be interesting here is how the way Jermall Charlo maneuvers from this, because their whole thing was Plant. He wants his get back. Does he still want to run it with Plant later on this year? Is Caleb Plant going to fight Jermall Charlo coming off of a loss against Resendiz? Does he want that back against Resendiz? We gotta. I don't know. This is confusing, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Jermall, shit. I don't know what Jermall Charlo does, man, because they was putting so much stock on the Caleb Plant fight. I don't know. You got it. That's something we got to see. We got to see what Jermall Charlo thinking right now. You feel me? Like, is he still considering Caleb Plant, or is he gonna be like, oh fuck Caleb Plant? Is he gonna fight Resendiz? Caleb Plant, Resendiz got 2 world champions on his resume, man. He got 2 world champions on his resume, bro. How many champions Jermall Charlo got on his resume? And I'm talking about champion, like was it champion when he beat them, not after. He got K9. Do Jermall only got 1? No, Austin Trout. So that's 2. Are we counting J-Rock? Because he wasn't champion when he beat J-Rock. J-Rock wasn't a champion or a former champion when Charlo beat him. React to the post-fight. Let me see if I can pull that up. Caleb Plant thinking that fight was close was, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. Caleb Plant got fried, man. That's crazy, bro.
What's that
about? Shout out to Carmel Moulton as well for his fight. But I don't see the post-fight press conference yet. Is it on? Wow. That's a huge step backwards for Caleb Plant, y'all. I'm going to say this, though. Gotta put some respect on Resendiz's name, though, man. That boy got Jerry Hurd and Caleb Plant on his resume. Damn. I think he was the first one to stop Jerry Hurd, too. And almost stopped Caleb Plant. Shaking my head. Resendiz probably Canelo next opponent. Ha! Yo. I'll tell you what, Resendiz going to get a good fight. Resendiz going to get a good fight after this, boy. Damn. Trying to see what's going on. Where the post-fight press conference at? Damn. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. We got 34 people. Hit the likes, man. Hit the motherfucking likes. Resendiz nuts, nigga. Yeah, that's what Resendiz told Plant. Hold that, little nigga. Crazy. Charlo looked lazy. I don't think he necessarily looked lazy, man. I thought that he was just. I think y'all confusing laziness with composure with being relaxed in the ring. Yeah, Charlo could have, switched gears, but look at the damage that he was doing just being in first gear. Do you necessarily have to step out of that gear when you're causing a lot of damage just being in first gear? It's like if you racing a motherfucker and you burning, you cooking him on first gear, do you have to necessarily put it in second gear, third gear, fourth gear, whatever the case is, to get to the finish line? Some people just content with, staying in the same, staying in that same element if a motherfucker don't force them outside of it. You know what I mean? Like he was doing, bro, his jab was phenomenal, man. Charlo did his thing. Look, that's the first. Damn, I ain't see that. I ain't see that hashtag in a minute. Forever Dedicated said hashtag Lions only. Damn. Charlo might have won it round. That's a fact. It's just that Thomas Lamanna couldn't take what he was dishing out. And, to be honest, that was pretty much expected. Charlo's a big, strong motherfucker, bro. Country strong. You could tell. He hit Thomas Lamanna with a right hand on his guard. And he still felt the effects and went down. That should tell you something. He's very strong. Mind you, Charlo might have been lazy in training camp because he looked like he had no muscle whatsoever. He looked like he had no definition. He looked like he did zero strength and conditioning. He probably looked like he sparred a little bit, and that was it. Plant upset me, man. He upset all of us. You know what I mean? He upset all of us. He upset the boxing world with this one. A lot of us was having high hopes of Caleb Plant defeating Resendiz. Like I said, the odds, the odds makers, they was pulling for, they was pulling for Caleb Plant to stop Resendiz. It was like a minus 210. Minus 210. They was under the impression that Caleb Plant was going to stop Resendiz, and Resendiz damn near stopped him. If he didn't do all that excessive holding, he might have not made it to the 12th round. Your homie won 2K off Resendiz. God damn. Resendiz versus Lester Martinez. Mexico versus, I don't know what that flag is. What is that, Argentina? Denitric Banner, what up, brother? He said, shaking my head, they couldn't get the Muffin Man. Edgar fought for Plant to make sure we get the Charlo fight. You talk about Montaquilla. I forgot his real name, but they call him Montaquilla. Yeah, damn. Look, man, like Resendiz was dangerous, but I thought stylistically Resendiz was tailor-made for somebody like Plant. Especially him moving up in weight. I thought he would have schooled Resendiz, but I don't know. Charlo like he rehydrated the 185. He probably did. That's a big motherfucker, man. He definitely looked like a light heavyweight in there, though. But like I said, like he looked like he ain't even really trained this camp. Nigga looked like he just cut weight and that was it. He didn't look like he did no type of push-ups, nothing. Pressure beats pure boxers, just saying. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It takes more than just pressure to beat an outboxer. You got to have some type of intelligence too. Because when you a pressure fighter, it's an art to, putting pressure on a pure boxer. Walking them to where you want to walk them to. Cutting the ring off, of course, which a lot of people lack in this era of boxing. Finding ways to close the gap between you and the pure boxer. Getting them to baiting them into having some type of defensive lapse so you can make them pay for it. It's a science. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and Nelly, yeah, bro, Brad, man, shout out to Brad, man, dog. He's a phenomenal trainer. He just had a bad night tonight. Kyron Davis, he did come in as a significant underdog against Yo-Yo. El Diablo. You know what I'm saying? That boy's strong. He looked a lot bigger than Kyron, too. I'm gonna just say that. So he got a good size middleweight. Pause. Had some punching power, good jab. I liked how the way he variated. I like how like he was showing versatility. Like he was boxing in points. You know, he was able to punch off of the ropes. He still relaxed while he was up against the ropes. Kyron didn't look like he didn't necessarily look like he was on defensive mode, but you could tell that he was wary of Yo-Yo's power. You know what I'm saying? So and they fast tracking him to put Yo-Yo in the ring with somebody like Karan Davis, who done been around the block at 60 and 168. That lets me know that they believe in him. You know, he was 7-0, all knockouts. You know what I mean? This was his first time going the distance in a fight. 8-0, 7 knockouts. That was well needed. That's going to definitely help him continue to progress as a professional. You know what I'm saying? But to go back to that statement, pressure doesn't necessarily always beat pure boxer, because if that was the case, Floyd would have had a few losses, especially when he was at 47. He would have had a few losses. You know what I'm saying? So that's not always the case. Pernell would have lost a lot of fights, and he didn't. Erislandy Lara would have lost a lot of fights. Guillermo Rigondeaux would have lost a lot of fights. I look at these guys as pure boxers. Floyd and Pernell are GOATs, especially in the defensive department. You know what I mean? But the pressure did beat a pure boxer tonight. But I do think to beat somebody like Caleb Plant, you need a little bit more than pressure. You know what I mean? Because I thought Uskadagi brought just pressure, and it backfired on him. And that's how Caleb ultimately became a world champion. He said Pernell D was so entertaining. I'm gonna put a pause on that, brother. You gotta slow down a little bit. You know what I mean? You gotta pause. But I get what you were saying. He had flashy defense. You know what I'm saying? He said, Mark, talk about your fight, July 12 versus Wonder Boy. That's an inside joke we got. But as one person, I do admit, I look like that motherfucker, boy. I can see the Jason Tatum but that motherfucker right there, the boy, I forgot his name, the dude that's gonna fight Wonder Boy. We do look alike. Some pictures is almost identical. It's crazy. He said, sorry, typing too fast. Bonfim, yeah, I think he's a Brazilian dude. Yeah, we do look a lot alike. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me see something real quick. His name is Gabriel Bonfim. Yep. This motherfucker, yeah. Some pictures he don't look like me, though. I think it's just like certain angles. Let me see if I can share this shit real quick. Look at this motherfucker right here, boy. Let me see. Yeah, I can share the screen. Look at this dude. This motherfucker, I do look like this nigga a lot. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Let me see. Oh, shit. Nah. Hold up. Look at him right there. Yo, I do look like that nigga, though. That's funny as shit. You said the screen black? Y'all can't see it? I can see it on my shit. Yo, he do look like me a lot, though. That's crazy. Let me see. Another picture he had. Yeah, look at him. That's funny. Look at Oh, shit. That's funny, man. Berlanga called Plant Soft on Twitter. I told y'all he was going to say something. Let me go ahead and stop that. Yeah, but yeah, we do look alike. I ain't going to say that. I am going to say that. I don't think many people look like me, but he do look like me. But anyways, Look. There's this dude on Twitter. His name is like Ray Bama or some shit. He is the ultimate dick eater. You know what I'm saying? He's the ultimate dick eater. He on here talking about 19-year-old Elijah Garcia stopped Resendiz in 8 rounds. Resendiz whooped Caleb Plant. Okay. So the fuck what? I'm so glad that I was not sharing my Twitter screen just now. Sidebar. Teofimo Lopez out here apologizing to Turkey. See, that's how you know Tio's a nut ass nigga, because, and that's how you know he don't stand on nothing. He's a pussy. He was just saying, "Oh, I ain't apologizing to Turkey. I don't apologize to nobody. Oh, you just gonna have to kill me, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna apologize for being me." Here you go on Twitter 3 hours ago to His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. I take full responsibility for my inappropriate words on the X app. I publicly apologize to His Excellency. I will conduct myself with greater respect, humility, and professionalism. Sending love and light to all. Thank you. Now, Shakur said, and you popped all that shit to me. That's how you know he pussy. He don't stand on nothing. He's a fucking turkey. Turkey got you looking like a turkey out here. Stand on what you talking about. You stood on this shit when you was talking about black people. Oh, but the nigga who cut you a check, you ready to bend over for it. You was a fucking pussy, nigga. You was straight up a pussy. Hold on. So Pagad Petit said first Shakur, now Tio. Hey, man. They ain't trying to fuck their money up. That, you know what I mean? These motherfuckers be so emotional. They don't be thinking shit through. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that growing up. But I was a kid when I was like that. You know, I didn't really think things through, and I was snapped before I really think about shit. Now I got shit to live for. You know, I got a very successful career outside of boxing. I'm successful in boxing. My YouTube shit is picking up. I got shit to lose. So before I do some stupid shit, I think about that. I think about my son. Well, I think about my son first. Then I think about all the other shit I got going on. Is me going through this situation worth putting everything else on the line for? And most of the time it ain't. They should be thinking that too. If the boy Turkey Al-Sheikh is willing to give you life-changing money to set up generational wealth for you and your family, your kids, kids, their kids, bro, why would you try to disrespect him if he's putting you in position? I don't understand that. Like, y'all don't got to agree on everything, but publicly going on social media and disrespecting them, bro, he's not one of your friends. He's not one of these boxers out here. And you know what's crazy? Y'all popping that shit to Turkey Al-Sheikh, but you know what I mean? I ain't never see Shakur go out of his way to disrespect Bob Arum. These niggas be cooning, bro. I swear, like, I don't be understanding these niggas, bro. I don't be understanding these niggas. Did Plant have a new team? Nah, he been with Breadman for a few fights already. He got his dad, Richie Plant, and Breadman. I don't know. I got to look back at the fight. Maybe it was a shit. Because, listen, Caleb Plant was doing well with Benavidez till he got hit with a body shot, and shit just went south after that. Maybe this was a replication of that. I got to look back. But I did see that Resendiz was landing some short body shots on the inside, and, you know, and that was prior to him landing that overhand. But it looks like whenever Caleb Plant gets rocked or hurt to the body or whatever the case is, it's like he falls apart from a mental aspect, physically as well. But I think it starts up here because he trains too hard to just fall apart physically. So I'm thinking it's like an internal thing where, you know, he got some type of mental block or something. I don't know. Like, you train too hard, bro. I know you spar throughout an 8-week camp. I know you spar multiple 12 rounds. So it's not like you're not ready for putting your body through 12 rounds. Like, to me, it's a mental thing. Or maybe you're not prep. You're not. But then it's hard for me to believe that he's not prepping properly. That's hard for me. Like, I doubt he's cutting corners. I doubt it. I trust Caleb Plant, like, work ethic that much, even though I've never been around him. Everybody that I heard talk about Caleb Plant always talked about his work ethic, you know, his efforts in the gym, his constant urge to learn and just be a student of the game, it's hard for me to believe that he cutting corners out here. So what is it really? His whole left side was red. Yeah, he was getting them fucking right hooks. Them right hooks to the body was killing him. You could hear the punches of bow. I was like, damn, I say your Resendiz is cracking, bro. It's a tough fights that he had. But even before the tough fights, man, he was showing signs of fatigue. Damn, bro. So the post-fight press conference is up. Let me see what Jermall Charlo's thoughts are on this. I'm going to give you guys my live fight reaction to what he had to say. I'm going to play the audio for y'all to hear.
Fight tonight. Did any part of you wish, now I wish we would have fought tonight instead? And what did you think of this fight? Is that a fight you still want to do next despite Recendes winning tonight?
Yeah, man, we got to go back to the drawing board with this one. Caleb Plant dropped the ball. He looked out of shape. He couldn't have fought me tonight. Yeah, I wish it would have happened, to answer your question. But, you know, I'm not here to bash nobody, talk down on nobody, but Caleb Plant dropped the ball on this one. I want my league back. I still want my league back. I don't care if you got the belt or not. We can make a belt. They can make a belt. Somebody make a belt. I want my league back. Right.
Charlo still won it.
First off, I want to thank God. I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank my supporters. I want to thank Losers Cougars, Tom, TGB, everyone, Brittany, even Brittany. I want to thank my mom.
I doubt I'll get flagged for a press conference.
Motivate me and keeping me locked in. And Holland Williams.
Especially if, like, media is recording it.
He not only been there, like, since I was a kid, but, like, always been there even when I was, you know, actually underneath Ronnie Shields, you know, master plans. Big Sad still called me and checked on me, and, you know, we just knew this day would come, and, you know, God made it happen for us, and I'm like, super proud to add you to my team and add, you know, to my, you know, my the
Miles Jordan, what up?
Share that bond even with my father. And thank you for always being there for me. Thank you. This camp was amazing. I probably had too much fun this camp. But it's cool though, because you know that's what it's all about. You know, having fun, giving my all, working, and you know.
Charlo said he had too much fun this camp. I wonder what that means.
Talk to my mom every day. Talk to my brother, my peers, my friends. CC hit me up. Didi hit me up every day. Everybody that's just like, man, like really holding me down. Like, you know, I just like want to say to my fans and my friends and people out there, if you ever going through something, like the worst thing to do is hold it in. It don't matter who it is. Just talk to somebody about it, and that's the best thing you can do, and try to move forward. Just pray to God that, you know, like he could change the view on things in life, and that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been battling with it. I know I just got a victory, and I got a victory maybe a year ago, and I've kind of been inactive, but my goal is to get more active. But, you know, I'm still battling some things now, you know, but it's not affecting me not to fight. As you can see, I went in there and still prevailed. And just wanted to tell you, I thank y'all for following me. Thank y'all for being there with me.
Nigga said he's still going through some things. Damn, so we might not see Charlo back till he like 37. Shit. But that was Jermall Charlo's reaction to Caleb Plant's upset loss to Armando Resendiz. But Syfe Buzz said Plant is elite for 3 rounds. That's what it looked like tonight, man. As soon as he got into the 4th round, he just looked different. I don't know what that was. Charlo believes that he was out of shape. Now, I don't believe that. He actually looked like he was in phenomenal shape. So I'm not going to point at that. Like I said, I think it's something that he deals with. I don't know. Maybe he just – there's some people who, like, don't have the best conditioning. You know what I mean? And if they would have fought tonight, Jermall would have probably did some damage to Caleb, bro. You know, like Jermall didn't do anything phenomenal, but he looked a lot better than Caleb Plant. I think we could all say that. You know, the strength, the accuracy, the jab. Yeah. Anonymous said, nah, fuck all that inactive shit. Make Charlo versus Andre right now. I'm going to pin that one. I've been trying to get Andre back in the mix with these dudes, and I was asking Caleb Plant why he wasn't, you know, bringing up Andre's name. And look, Andre been a little inactive too. He hasn't fought since the David Benavidez loss. So let's get this shit popping. You know, these guys got a lot of history. You know what I mean? They don't like each other. That'll be a great build-up. You know, Andre's outspoken. Charlo don't mind talking this shit. You know, they at the later half of their careers. You know, they're about the same age. How old is Andre? Andre got to be like 36, 35, 36 years old. He 37. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. They both at the later half of their career. The window's closing. Might as well have them fight each other now. Caleb Plant, he probably going to go back to the drawing board and try to get back in the winning column, whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Try to get himself back in title contention. You know, he going to be doing shit like that. I don't think he's going to come back later on in the year and fight no Jermall Charlo. You know what I'm saying? He about to have his child and all that. He might not even come back later this year, to be honest with you. Miles Jordan said Jermall is a phenomenal boxer. He just don't have his head in the sport. I mean, that's obvious. That's definitely obvious. That's a great observation. But that's apparent in how the way he's been moving outside of the ring. But inside of the ring, he looked like he got his shit together, man. He's going to be a tough guy to beat. Jermall Charlo with that jab and, you know, how composed he is and, you know, all these things, all the qualities that he has. At 168 now, he's going to be a problem for these dudes. Timing is still there, absolutely. Where does Caleb Plant go from here, bro? Ralphie, I was just saying, Caleb Plant has to really go back and assess some things. Why did you have that type of performance? Go back, watch the fight. What was it that you could have done better? You know, go back to the gym, work on it. You feel what I'm saying? And if his intentions are to come back into the 168 and look for some type of, you know, get an opportunity, you got to get some good wins. If you want to get back in title to contention, you got to get some good wins. So first of all, I think Caleb Plant has to get himself back in the winning column. So, you know, go back to 168 because shit, you don't got no business being at 175. If you're having that much, that tough of a time making 68, you need to get some type of nutritionist. Something got to happen. Motherfucker turn vegan or something because at 175 is way too much smoke for you up there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say that. I mean, you don't want that Benavidez smoke. I doubt you want that Bivol smoke. I doubt you want that Better Be smoke because they, you know, them dudes will really do something to you. It's tough, bro. It's tough. Because, you know, Caleb Plant, you know, he like to fight good competition. So, I don't know, man. If I'm Caleb Plant or if I'm a part of Caleb Plant's team, you know what I mean, let the man cool out for a few months, get back in the gym. If you want to fight later on this year, get him a I was going to say a tune-up, but we just seen how that went. Get him back in the winning column, man. Get him back in the winning column. Anonymous said, Plant ain't never beaten those front-runner allegations. Bro, I've been saying that. I always said that was Caleb Plant's Achilles heel, bro. Phenomenal boxer. And I mean, skills up to par. You feel what I'm saying? He got everything. He got some great tools. And they say he a pillow puncher. I don't think he a pillow puncher at all. You know what I'm saying? But what I am going to say is that he does phenomenal in the beginning and he fades at the end. I was calling him a 6-round fighter. I was saying that before he fought Benavidez. I was like, bro, he like a 6-round fighter. Tonight, he looked like a 4-round fighter. So I don't know what. There's something going on. There's something going on. Either internally with Caleb Plant, his preparation, it's something. Look what Berlanga just posted. All right, let's take a look. But I would like to see Demetrius Andre get in the mix with Jermall. That'd be a great fucking fight to end the year. Get Demetrius Andre some quick work in the summer. Get him in the ring later on this year, man. Let's go back to Twitter. Shout out to Raging Babe. She said, this is exactly why Charlo Plant should have happened. Instead, they both fought layups and neither looked great. Too much time wasted. Yeah, hold up real quick. Ooh. Ooh, wee. Twitter snapping the night. If you know, you know. God bless America. Edgar Berlanga. All right, let's see what Berlanga put. This nigga Caleb Plant, Edgar Berlanga posted a picture of a bag of weed. And on the bag of weed, it says Caleb Plant pack. Oh my God. This nigga is crazy. He also went on to say, now y'all believe me that I really stopped his ass at 17 years old with that left hook to the body. Dude never liked body shots. So that's what I was just referring to. Maybe it was some body shots that really broke him down and, got him up out his game. So now now you know what I'm talking about. But hold on. The first tweet was, damn, boy, you got your ass whooped, fuck nigga. Then Najee from Cigar Talk put up a post. It said, Caleb Plant makes it clear that he wants to fight with Edgar Berlanga. He said Berlanga called him soft, but he doesn't really believe that. New episode of Cigar Talk, blah, 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 blah. Edgar Berlanga responded to Najee's tweet and wrote in response to Caleb, you soft. I told y'all that was going to be a thing. Yeah, I mean, I knew Berlanga was going to say something. This nigga said Caleb Plant pack. Yeah, Berlanga really a New York ass nigga, bro. What do I think about Caleb Plant and Lester Martinez fight? I don't know, bro. I don't know if Caleb Plant going to spin the block and come back to that type of fight, bro. Like I said, Caleb Plant need to get back in the winning column. And he got to look phenomenal doing so. Because if not, he ain't never going to get them world titles again, bro. Canelo already got them belts hostage. You know what I'm saying? Caleb versus Cornflake next. I actually wouldn't mind that. But I don't know. The way Cornflake got packed up. Would y'all mind seeing that? Would y'all watch that? I think Caleb would win that one too. This nigga said no. Coffee said no. Safe Buzz said Plant need to go celibate this camp. He fought like he got yams in the parking lot. I mean, his girl pregnant, but I don't know if y'all ever had a pregnant woman, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. Plant versus Beck the Bully. Jermall Charlo versus Beck the Bully will be a good fight. Jermall Charlo versus Beck the Bully. Beck just won yesterday. Plant won today. Jermall versus Beck the Bully. I mean, that's if they can't get an Andre fight. I would really love to see Andre get another opportunity, man. And I don't like the fact that Andre just be sitting around, just be so cool with not fighting. Like, that's how, like, bro, If you can't fight nobody of value, just fuck these niggas up, man. Beat their ass. Like, knock out some bums. Fuck it. Get in the ring. Nigga said, hell no. Nobody want to see that. I think I've heard Caleb Plant say that he don't have sex in camp. So he either lying or like it's something. Caleb knows. This nigga said Caleb Wise, truth be told. Damn. Andre versus Ralph. I got Ralph stopping Andre in 2 rounds. Plant versus Fulgham. That'd be a good John. He made a good name for himself yesterday, even though he lost. He put up a good fight. That'd be a good John. Yeah, why not? But damn, man, Caleb fucked that up. I would have never thought. I thought if anybody would fuck it up, it'd be Jermall. This boxing shit crazy, bro. Diego Pacheco, too much. Too much. This nigga said he want to call Ice Slimy shit. That's a real hater right there. God damn. I hope this is a lesson. Don't let fights marinate. That's the lesson behind all of this. I don't know why they be letting this shit happen. It's too risky, man. Let's see what the people saying on social media, man. Somebody by the name of Locked In Daily said Jermall Charlo could have really been a legit all-timer if he wasn't such a drunk-ass nigga. Damn. What the fuck just happened? Them niggas was rumbling. There's too much going on. You know, I get distracted very easy. Caleb Plant. Ring Magazine. Resendiz pulls off the upset. Resendiz defeats Caleb Plant by split decision. Man, that was a unanimous decision, man. I'm sick of these fucking split decisions. And Caleb Plant, he could go back to that and be like, you know, it was a split decision, so it was a close fight. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. Crazy. Somebody wrote Caleb Plant versus Mexicans, and it's a John Morant quote that said, "This is not a rivalry. They always kick our ass." That's crazy. Somebody wrote Knicks lost, Caleb Plant lost, bad night. Damn. Caleb Plant 0-3 versus Mexicans. And David Sutherland is a fucking goofy. If he's the one that did that shit, David Sutherland needs to be suspended. And he's from Owasso, Oklahoma. They ain't even do boxing in Oklahoma. Get him the fuck up out of boxing, man. The judge who had Caleb Plant ahead 115, 113 is David Sutherland. What a fucking goofy. Shout out to Dave. What's his name? Steve Wisefield and the other guy for getting it correct, man. Disgusting work. Let me see the comments real quick. That was definitely a unanimous decision. Can't nobody tell me that it wasn't. Plant fought like he got one lung. That's not supposed to be funny, but I see what you're saying. One lung. Oh man. Caleb Plant just lost his belt. Caleb Plant's quote, I felt like it was close. Sometimes in a close fight, it swings the other way. I wasn't the better man tonight, I guess. And, I guess, brother. Like, why are you still leaving it up in the air like you like you could have gotten it? No, bro, that's not the case, bro. Crazy, bro. Let me look through these comments real quick. Plant said he felt he did good in the post-fight interview. Yeah, that's I don't know if somebody lying to him in that corner, but he did not look good, bro. I'll be the first one to tell you that. You did not look good. The fight was not close whatsoever. You did terribly, bro. That was a shitty performance. You was not supposed to lose. I mean, anything could happen in boxing, so I can't really say that, you're not supposed to lose because anybody could be beat. He's been beat before. But at the same time, like, come on, bro. We looked at you. We looked at you as the more better fighter, the more skilled fighter, and you completely fell apart. Caleb did more hugging than boxing. Man. When he in trouble, he definitely hold excessively. I hate when niggas say that's the best camp I ever had, then get trashed. Like, oh, really now? I mean, he probably did have a great camp, bro. But just because you have a great camp don't mean you're gonna have a great performance. That's how crazy boxing is. Like a good training camp could give you more confidence going into a fight, but shit could still go left. I mean, you can have a phenomenal training camp and get clipped in the first round. Like that type shit does happen, bro. The crazy thing is Caleb don't got a good poker face. He be knowing when he losing. Facts. And he got terrible body language when he's fatigued. Like, you could tell he's tired. Bro, I was saying it, bro. All y'all got to do is look back at them early rounds. I was just doing this reaction with y'all. I was like, yo. Do y'all see, like, Caleb Plant mouth is open? This is like the fourth round. I'm like, see, that's like, and I was saying, like, I'm not sure if he's tired. I'm not saying he's tired, but he's already showing like signs of like, gassing out. Like Thomas Lamanna looked like he was dead tired in the third round. I seen him take a deep breath. I'm like, what? Jermall wasn't even like turning up on him, but like he was. I guess like the mental pressure that Charlo was putting on him was getting to him, and Lamanna kept saying, even in the interview I did with him, he wasn't gonna let the moment get to him, and he got to learn to not let the moment get to him. I don't know. It looked like the moment got to him. White boys took L's tonight. Damn. You said it, not me, Justin. Justin be popping his shit for sure. Lamanna did horrible. Bro, the reality is Thomas Lamanna's not on that level. Like he's not. Like You know what I'm saying? I just think he was at the right place at the right time. And he even told you that networking was everything on my channel. Like, he know the right people that was able to put him in position. And, Lamanna might come back, get a few more wins, and then get another opportunity. That's just how this shit go. Yep, Resendiz was shooting short shots on the inside, especially when they were even in the clinch. And Caleb, he wasn't reacting well, bro. His body language is terrible. You know when he's hurt. You know when he's tired. You know when he feels like he's out of the fight. Like you can see it all in his body language. And that's something that I teach my fighters all the time. Like, even if you're tired, you never want to give the impression that you're tired. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all ever watch that interview with Andre Berto, pretty much breaking down like how it was fighting Floyd? It went viral, and he was talking about how like Floyd was tired, like he could literally hear Floyd breathing all hard. You know what I'm saying, in the fight. But when you watch Floyd fight, the nigga never looked like he tired. It's because he understands the importance of having positive body language. It doesn't let your opponent know what you're thinking. It doesn't it can help like the momentum not shift in your opponent's favor, and it won't let the judges know. You'll be able to fool the judges, and they could probably rule more rounds in your favor because you're still showing some type of energy. You feel what I'm saying? Body language is very important in boxing. You'll never want them to know that you hurt, injured, fatigued, none of that. And I think Jermall Charlo showed great composure today. He had Thomas hurt. He had Cornflake hurt multiple times. And he still was staying relaxed behind his game. That's a skill. Crazy, bro. I'm going to read a few more comments and I'm going to get up out of here. Thomas had abrasions on his nose within a minute of the first round from that jab. Facts. He was leaking off the rip. As soon as that jab made his mark, boom. His shit started trickling immediately. He kept playing with his nose. So that shit was bothering him. And that goes to show you how strong Charlo is. And then the right when they stopped, right before they stopped the fight with Cornflake, Cornflake got hit with a jab while he was on the move. And he literally was on Queer Street. He turned his back to Jermall. He looked like he did not know where he was. That nigga jab is like a power shot. You can't get hit with that joint, bro. Because it's so accurate. Because it's such a sturdy, it's a strong jab and it's accurate, it could hurt you like a right hand. It hurt J-Rock. I seen it hurt J-Rock. I seen that shit hurt K9. Like, I seen him really put niggas on their pockets with that joint. That's a fucking weapon, bro. If your jab feels like a power shot, bro, you a dangerous motherfucker like Triple G. I modeled my jab after Triple G, bro, because of how fucking precise and strong the jab was. One of my favorite performances I done ever had when I was boxing was when I stopped somebody with a jab. People really sleep on how important that punch is, bro. But this weekend, we was able to see how important it is, and it really showed how it is the most important punch in boxing. If you got a good jab, a lot of people are going to have trouble with you. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love. We've been on here for nearly 3 hours. You feel what I'm saying? I give you guys my live fight reaction and commentary to Caleb Plant versus Armando Resendiz, which is one of the top upsets of the year, along with the return of Jermall Charlo stopping Thomas Lamanna. And I believe in, what was that, 5 or 6 rounds? Whatever the case is, man, I hope you guys appreciated that. I'll be back on live tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. You feel what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that. Until then, y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.